Oh, nope, still not.
You're such a lunatic. And what's
There we
Thea
go.
doing here? Thea.
It is her note taker on here. She's on travels in Egypt till the new year,
Oh,
but she was still very interested in this work, and she was very impacted by some of those early experiences, which is another
that's
topic.
why she's in Egypt.
She was going to do that anyways, but yeah, she wanted to really take it to into the world and live it. Life is lived, which was related to another topic, which is what's your experience with 5-MeO?
With what?
5-MeO.
What's 5-MeO?
You mentioned you've done ayahuasca, which is like one
Yeah.
round and pretty distinct from like a lot of other similar altered state experiences. But 5-MeO is it's like a whole different level, like completely distinct from.
Like beyond ayahuasca? Beyond peyote?
Yes, easily.
No, not doing it. No, thank you. Why?
To experience yourself as like an exploding supernova star of the
How
brightest
is
brightness.
Jesus Christ? How is that going to bring anything into your life that you want?
To experience myself as like already the bazillion pieces that I'm going to become eventually over a long enough time period and already like have been in the past, like getting to
But
coherence.
there's no I associated with those things.
There's no I. It is one of the most spectacular, it's literally the most spectacular experience I've ever
Well, that's
come close.
fine. Yeah. If you want to be an experienced junkie, that's fine. Yeah. Go for the big ones. You
Yeah,
can
but it's
keep
much
them,
more
you can use
nuanced
them
than
to keep yourself
experienced
warm.
junkie. Well, in some ways it does, it leads to that being like a light in my life type experience that I like will forever have been shaped by in a what feels like a irrevocably positive way of experiencing myself as like this radiant form of
Cool.
awareness.
Some people beat themselves with with switches. Some
Mhm.
people drive nails into their hands. Some people have sex with blow up dolls.
They do that sometimes, and
Yes, and if
that
that's the way you want to define your life, have at it.
yeah, it is. I don't know how to communicate. It is like so utterly beyond anything else I
And
describe.
aren't you special for having experienced that?
And
You
it
can't point to
seems so
anything
recent.
that's actually changed in your life, like you now wear corduroys where you didn't before. And so you could have had this while looking at a dewdrop, as Walt Whitman once did.
Hmm. I think that's a beautiful example. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he just before that was in 5-MeO states. And yes, I could imagine doing that totally distinct from that state.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
the thing about most state junkies is that they love going after their states, but it
mhm,
doesn't actually change their life.
mhm,
They can You can say it does. Oh, I've had an experience that's forever changed me. And I'm
mhm,
like, where's the demonstrable proof that it's changed
mhm.
your life? How can we tell that learning has taken place? Where's the change that has occurred
Right.
because you did 5-MeO or PQS, whatever it is?
Mhm. There's something to be said around how you experience some distinct texture or flavor of me. You mentioned like 3 or 4 months ago,
Nope.
loosely around time when I was spending a lot more time with JJ. And those aren't things that I can necessarily like list out as like, oh, this was causally linked to JJ's presence in my life. But there is a whole nother like layer of reality that I'm now in touch with and
Good.
presence like with my heart or with other people and a lot more psychological slack to be with like the crunchiest areas that used to cause me to flinch or like not be present with people as they were sharing with me things that were really difficult for them. Historically, I would just like dissociate or be overwhelmed. And like we spoke a little bit of this yesterday, but there's maybe for the first time in my life capacity to be with things that would otherwise send me into a dissociative state and or them. And
Well, if you want to increase the space that you have around something, go for something that's completely out of the ballpark and that you have to hold space for. It will make this look very trivial.
Yeah,
So if you exploded into a supernova,
effectively, that's
okay,
what I
and
did.
you were able to hold that, you might want to look at your agitation around women finding you attractive. You might say, "Oh, come on, supernova, women are come on."
Mhm.
Oh, it's in my computer. It's not. I bought a new camera because it would stop doing that, but it's not.
Stop doing the
Something in
autofocus thing or the blipping thing.
the blipping thing. Oh well, it is autofocus. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
It's nice though. If I put you on, I have a 52-inch screen, so if I put both of us on the lower half of the screen, then it looks like I'm looking at you, more or less.
Hmm.
I could move you over to the
Enlarge
other
the
side.
screen so I can also see it more. Yeah, I think that's really well said. Being able, if I experience myself as a supernova, then like all these other like day-to-day things that would typically cause me to dissociate or be triggered by are like, oh, so uh that's well said.
Mhm.
Unmissable. And and there's still something in me, of course, that just wants to like sing it from the rooftops of like similar to this work, which is why I'm like live streaming this, is like your capacity to evoke different ways of being and have people choose to be bigger than the previous bigotries is unlike anything else. And that is like a deliberately practicable form of some flavor of enlightenment for at least the current character suits that people find themselves in, that they've inherited by default. And you're wincing. And that's something I absolutely think is worth sharing. And that's the world I want to live in.
Sure.
And so when you say you're not interested in that because you just feel sated with the trajectory of your life currently.
I wouldn't say sated, but I've done a lot of weird things. I've done a lot of weird drugs, done, and it's like I find I find most long-term states to be pretty bland. Whether it's ecstasy, whether it's fear, whether it's joy,
Mhm.
and it's just like wow, I can feel the state. I'm just like, so what? You know,
It becomes traits if you do that enough or like get familiar enough with that state or can anchor into it, then you can recall upon it and then drop into that, at least some
yeah, but
fractal
why?
flavor of it.
And there are, if you look at, I imagine that if you polled all the masters and all the arts that you could find, and you can ask, what is the state that you're in when you do your most masterful stuff? They would
Hmm.
say, I'm not really in a state.
Yeah, I have it that this fuels the foundation of being that from which people produce some of their best masterpieces, is my assertion.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. It's where their worst expressions come from also. Grounded
Yeah,
being
I think
is
it also does create a place for their worst expressions to come through and to feel so fully, safely held and seen that they can dissolve into the pool of awareness that they already are, rather than letting their consciousness get stopped or crinkled up into these areas that they're trying to avoid, or that they label as worse. But then they'll all get washed away in like this pure experience of everything.
philosophically, yay. Experientially, nah.
I mean, experientially, yeah, it feels like absolute terror and like actually dying, or the closest thing to dying. I don't actually know what dying is, but like the closest thing I'd imagine is like to die.
Every night when you fall asleep, you experience dying. You lose
Mm.
consciousness.
There's like near death experience dying that's like very distinct, and like the brain injects all sorts of different like chemicals than just falling asleep dying.
Okay.
I'm not sure you're where you like worked in ambulances and
There's the experience around dying, and then there's the dying.
Mhm. I imagine you've seen how people can get when they like actually believe that they're dying.
Yes, and it's a broad range.
And frequently on the bell curve, that there is some new layer of reality that they become suddenly present to that is leaves them in a state of deep awe and gratitude for life and everyone that's in it.
That can happen.
Yeah. I mean, but as I say the bell curve because
Why do you care? Why do
I
you
want
care
that
about the
world.
state that you're experiencing when you're doing things?
I don't know if I would say like that doesn't feel accurate of like characterizing like what I'm paying attention to in those states. Um, right now there's like a desire to share how significant those experiences were and
When you're
how that lands
when
in your
you're
meaning maker. Mhm.
when you're standing across from the lady that you're interested in and your stuff is kicking up, why do you
Mhm.
care about the state that you're in?
Why do I care about the state that I'm in? People
Yeah.
will, as social creatures, pick up on all sorts of conscious and
I'm asking
unconscious.
you, why do you care that there are butterflies in your stomach, that you're nervous, that you have, oh, she's going to think I'm a piece of shit? Why do you care about that stuff?
This feels like a rhetorical question because like you asked
No.
when I ask you why questions, you're like, because I have a smelly butt, is what you said. And I'm like, how can we
Why do
causally?
you care when your primal character is sending you all of those things?
Huh.
Why do you care?
Why do I care? Conditioning?
Yeah.
It seems like the answer globally.
Yeah. Well, that's the
It
big
seems like you're getting at
general.
something.
I'm trying to get you to look at it and say, why do I care? There's a part of me that says you're going to look really foolish, and I'm like, and what's your point?
Hmm. I don't know if that's as much here for me. I was trying it on, but like the thing that's typically comes up for me is like what I spoke about yesterday is that, oh, I notice I feel overwhelmingly positive in the face of this person, and now I'm going to basically be like enslaved to endless amounts of emotional labor to them. I think that's like a
Yeah, but why do you care about that? Why do you care about being in an endless chain of
it,
emotional servitude?
it believes that that's the only way to connect with other people meaningfully is
Is
through that
to
because that's what I experienced with my family is my story or this part's story that I don't endorse, but that's the current apparent results and like consistently the reason why the relationships have been challenging in the past for me. But also something I readily welcome. And I'm like, hey, I'm here as a transformative living incubator. People come all over from all around the world. Some people are flying in a couple days. Um, and and I happily give that. And then there's a point at which I go like, okay, now it's like too much, or fractally, somehow something becomes like too much. And then I'm like getting a little drained, or like I'm not owning the part that I want from it or
yeah, okay,
something.
okay, okay, okay. Why does it being too much matter?
There's some story about me supporting others becoming mutually exclusive to me supporting more of my own internal holistic sense of self.
So you, it sounds like if you go past a certain point, you get lost or something like that. You're not going to be able to do what you want. You're not going to be able to say what you want. You're not going to be able to act like you want
Yeah, I could say I
because,
get lost in a relationship where I will like over invest in the relationship and then I will lose sight of my own like mission or the purpose or the things that I know. I don't, that's the felt sense. When I look at the
mhm.
results, I'm like, I still show up to my calendar events and like the things that I've regularly committed to work wise, and that feels good and clean. But there is this fear that definitely yanks me around and that It's something I'm,
Well,
just discovering as of like a couple of days ago how salient it is, or I mean, probably actually even a lot yesterday.
the fear is there because something happened and that's how it made sense. This isn't something that you just dreamt up on a wild ayahuasca night or something. There is
Yeah.
something that happened when you went too far into emotional involvement with somebody
Mhm.
that you said, this sucks. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you were there with a lot, supporting me a lot when I made up that that was happening with Sophia. And there's just my
Mm-hmm.
story was like a lot of unresolved things that were there for her. And I'm like, I'm not the person to resolve these things with you, but it makes it incredibly difficult just like to cohabitate or interface with you if all of this stuff is going to come up in connection with me. And I can't be that person.
Yeah, but there's the duality of the person who solves it or the person who's out of it. What's the alternative you?
I have
That's
this
the
like
historical you.
integrated sense of self that can know how to that I could evoke from her the version of her that self
How do you say no?
witnesses.
How do you say no
I have
without getting rid of the baby and the bathwater?
that was the crux of the challenge. And
Yep.
I don't know if I was able to say no in a way that felt regulated or like without hardening my own heart because I was afraid of falling more into that. And
Mhm.
so that's
Is it when you say no to somebody's actions, does that in your meaning making, is that saying no to them?
certainly fractally, not intellectually, but like emotionally, there's definitely a
Good. Then that's where your practice is. How do you say no to the things that they're doing rather than them as being?
thanks. That
Yeah.
does seem like the crux of it.
Mm-hmm.
Any practices around this dimension? I by default, I mean the GPT frames yesterday were fantastic, and you offered some three speed bump things.
No, it starts small. No, I don't want my steak done well. I don't know. Start small. As always, start small.
Yeah, I also notice how frequently I've collected or connected with people who may also have these conflict averse parts too. And
Mm-hmm.
it's now much more excruciating to see that thing that I'm incomplete with in other people. Okay. Yeah, it seems kind of basic. I'm like, well, gotta go back to basics sometimes. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, writing this down and I'll have ChatGPT generate some things on this. In the meantime, I really like the initial prompt you shared around how is our gratitude
Mm-hmm.
keeping us in a box, just like our racism? Is that close?
Yeah, it's with anything where you say we should be doing this or more people ought to be doing this. It's like it's how is that serving you?
Mhm.
Sure, it makes you small and not threatening,
Mhm.
expressing gratitude, but it's like what's the I guess I would say what's the function of gratitude in your life? What does it allow you to be? What does it allow other people to
Gratitude, I often feel taken by.
be?
It's
Yep.
something that just comes over me, and then I'm like swept away in this beauty or this texture of being, and then it like pours out from me to others.
So I mean just the basics back to Dojo 101 is like what's the dark side of that? What's the light side? if you're looking at it, how does, for you, how does gratitude keep you small? Or how does gratitude enlarge in you?
Interesting. How does gratitude keep me small? I don't think I've ever asked anything like that. Do you have an example answer?
What the hell?
Yeah, it is strange that your video just blipped out, but maybe just like a poor USB connection, or maybe that port in your motherboard is not great.
Man, I spent $189 on a new camera. Jesus Christ.
So it just blipped out for no apparent reason. That's
Oh,
frustrating.
okay. Now see, it went. Now Norton is telling me that the external drive is connected.
Webcams can come sometimes occur as sometimes they might have, well, a drive. It could also have drawn too much power and then it cut out the power both from the external drive as well as the webcam if it's
Yeah.
pulling too much voltage.
Hmm. I don't know. We'll get through it. That it showed you the camera on the screen of the laptop.
Right, that makes sense. That seems fine. Like that seems reasonable as a default thing that it would flip to.
Yeah. Anyhow, here we are.
Hmm. How does gratitude keep me small? This is like a reflexive thing that seems like your mind just does generally. And I was asking, how does that happen for you, or like, how would you answer that?
How does gratitude keep me small?
Yeah.
It makes somebody else into a power figure, make somebody else that I'm beholden to, somebody else who can see me or understand me. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay, that was a great example. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's very different if you're if you're having gratitude to the person or you're having gratitude to the thing that they did.
I mean, often it's both in the same way that me saying no is like fractally both. What's
The biggest, oh God, who knows what the hell's going on now? Anyhow, you have to put up with it because I don't know how to fix it. Um,
you can't use the
it's
old
like the
webcam?
biggest parenting. Hmm?
You can't use your old webcam?
I do, but I had to put it up there. I had to reconnect it.
Okay.
It'll come back. If it
We're
doesn't
trying a
come back, then I'll
podcast.
do that.
Okay.
Uh, so one of the biggest parenting mistakes you can do is make the qualifiers about them as entities.
Right.
You're
Rather than talk about
smart.
the behavior, right?
Yeah.
But then good work versus you're a good boy or girl.
Yep. Yep. And so now you're looking at it and you're saying, oh, what is the thanks for? Oh
Hmm.
God, I hate this bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Hang on a second. Put my old webcam up. Oh, could really not be just getting enough power. That seems ridiculous. I'm gonna have to adjust this. Good Lord, Alton. It's all your fault.
It's me. It is it's entirely my fault.
Now I have to take this one out. Oh, okay, that one's off. That one's on. Up. Now I have to tell Zoom to switch. Hi there. Oh, even worse. Ugh. All right, there you go.
Welcome back.
God damn it. And I didn't know, but it's not a USB connection either. It's one of those little teeny tiny ones.
USB-C.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes if there's not enough voltage delivered to them, then they can cut out like that or be inconsistent. And also would explain the hard drive connecting, but yeah.
Mm. Yep.
Hmm.
Are you having a big Thanksgiving to do at the house?
Yep. I can hear people thumping around who are just driving upstairs, and some of the things I'm just doing while you're futzing with that is coordinating just the twiddling on the coordination thread for food tonight, both here and then tomorrow, and having a sleepover
Mm.
thing. And I'm like, wow, that's I had me want to move it earlier. Dakota is going to be orchestrating a lot of that. Oh, maybe people are here.
Go have fun. I'm
Sure.
willing to go video game.
Oh no, of course we want you here. We want you a part of it.
No. Jesus Christ.
Come in. You can hear them giggling outside.
They're giggling. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come
Oh,
in.
no, a nice dramatic door opening. Yay.
We're all here.
Hello.
How's it going?
You guys are on live stream here, and so welcome.
Be careful.
Cool. Be careful. Um, I know you want to roll with them though. I do.
You want to roll?
I need to make cookies. I brought cookie dough.
Oh, awesome, beautiful. And okay, I'm hearing cookies are rolling pins. I don't think I've ever seen a rolling pin in this house. I haven't looked very hard though.
Okay. I'll MacGyver something.
We got some.
Use a
I'll use like a bottle or something. It'll be fine.
no, you don't use a ball, use a jar. Use
No,
a
I was
pasta
thinking
jar
jar.
if you have it.
That'll be better than this. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Also, welcome. Hi. I'll read more fully when we're off stream here, but you're welcome
Do you
to
wanna
join
come
for any
sit
of
down?
us. Yeah.
Would that be?
No, don't run away. Go make cookies.
I mean, I'm very interested in having Andrew's thoughts on this too. You led something with
Oh,
JJ. I
God.
think she connected us to this.
Yeah. Andrew,
Oh,
come sit
that's
down.
right. That's right. I texted you. Oh,
That's
that's
right.
right.
Alden, take
Okay.
this more over there, please.
Um,
come back. Okay. See you in a little bit when that's up. See you. All right. Bye.
oh, this Alton, such a small world. Hi.
There. Well,
Yeah, thank you.
Hmm.
Here.
Cute.
All right.
I'm surprised nobody's here right now. You don't need to put me in frame right now. I don't.
okay.
Hi, Craig.
Shut up.
Hi.
Been a while. You look like a
Hello.
different person.
Hmm.
Here we
So,
are.
I do this weekly live stream, done it for around 5-ish years. Today, the topic is on gratitude and how it keeps us in a box, just like our racism.
Ah,
And it's kind of free form where there's no format. We just kind of like to share what's there for you in this. You seem disturbed, Dakota.
Processing.
Reflecting gratitude. It keeps. So there is like some kind of breaking free of gratitude, the cultural expectation to have it around this time of year, kind of thing.
I love how you're interpreting that. That's exactly why I have other people who are not me on this, because you think differently.
I see. Okay. Hmm.
Racism means that you believe something based on the color of their skin. Gratitude makes you believe something based on what people do for you.
So they're like both about beliefs. I
Yep.
think it's hard for me to shake some sort of dissonance. Racism I associate with not good, gratitude I associate with good. And it's
Yep.
like I'm trying to wrap my head around the parallels or something.
Yep. It's like they're structurally the same thing, but in your culture, gratitude is good, racism is bad. Okay. In other cultures, you might have those reversed. The
Okay.
structure is the same.
Okay, yeah. Hmm. pretty humbling consideration.
Mm.
Like,
Ray looks so fucking bored.
what are we trying to go for here? Entertainment?
I'm here because I have to be here. I'm just trying to make it as least painful for me as I can.
I would say Quay's magical ability is having some of the most confronting, humbling things be hilariously entertaining.
Hmm.
And he's able to evoke some of the most uncomfortable truths while also having a spoonful of humor to let that medicine go down for me. And I think that's what led to us having this spiritual contract that has been declared by the universe that that has us continue these every week.
Would it be worthwhile to consider like what, so this is a live stream, like what the audience, what might serve the audience or something, or try to like let that go?
I have it that my default stance, because I'm a life logger, is I record almost everything always by default, and that's like for all future versions of humanity. And me choosing to nourish or feed myself mostly selfishly also sets a modeled example of what I would like everyone else to like
Okay.
move from in the world.
So if this were Andrew's show and you didn't worry about anyone ever again, how would you show up?
Would be really, it's like sort of some kind of just trust that I can be me or something. Is that?
Who are you?
Don't know the answer to that, not in words at least.
You facilitated and brought some people together to some deeper states than they've ever experienced themselves in through regular facilitated T-group type formats.
Whoa, that is so okay. Yeah. And thank you for that. I guess I didn't hear that in those words from them. So that's like a, oh, that's very sweet to receive.
Well, it's a story
Feeling
that
gratitude, but not
Hmm.
racism.
Yeah. When people say nice things about you, you should feel gratitude. When they have dark skin, you should feel anger.
Oh, I think I'm connecting more with the parallels. It's like when you put it like that, it really highlights for me, it seems pretty arbitrary. Like I think the tone is like a little sing-songy, a little mocky. And I'm like, oh yeah,
Yep.
that's right. Hmm.
So you're just as much a prisoner of your compulsion to be gratitudinous as people are to be racist.
Oh, okay. Immediate effort to break free. And then noticing this effort, actually, I don't want to, for example, not like block feelings of gratitude when the next time somebody says something nice, because then I'm still not free. I'm still
Wow.
reacting. I'm grasping in the opposite. So
Same
I'm,
thing that racist people think.
oh shit. Well, well, well. It's like, yeah, I'm friends with black people or something. Well, I guess like, so I guess my point is, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm noticing the urge. I'm just gotta like, ooh, like, let's do something else. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Let's not talk about this. This is way too threatening to my character. Jesus Christ. Oh, that I am a prisoner of my compulsion. There's a bunch of people in that part of the world that are prisoners of authentic relating and circling and making everybody feel nice, being polite.
Andrew is not polite, but he can be.
Oh, great. I'm interested in this virginity.
You know, this is bringing up a memory. I went to a circling thing, and the facilitator at some point in the circle, people were using the sentence stem expertly, but it was like not deepening. And then the facilitator was just like, "Oh, help! I'm an authentic relating robot." And like that shit really shook me. I was like, I didn't know you could facilitate like that. I'm like relatively a squeaky clean facilitator. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna
You're
do
squeaky
this.
clean almost everything.
Hmm, take that as a compliment, even though you might not mean
No, it's not.
it.
I can't
Ooh.
stand squeaky clean people. They're trying too hard to hide.
Oh shit. Shit.
Yeah, what are you hiding, Andrew?
Hmm. Well, whatever it is, it
It
thinks to
says
have
the
to be
voice
me.
from off camera.
It's this
Dakota. I'm over here, but I'm off.
Hmm.
I'm not engaged right now.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Yeah, the like shaking it up energy was really refreshing. It ended up really deepening the group, but not without some controversy. Like people had some strong feelings, and I guess that was the point. That was the impact. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember this and be bringing it back up.
Huh? So, what's your racist feelings about strong feelings?
Racist feelings. Right now, I believe strong feelings are good, just like I believe gratitude is good. Somehow it leads us to open our hearts more or something.
Are
That's
you going
my,
to demonstrate this deep value you have about strong feelings, or
yeah, could. I guess I gotta wait for them to come.
Oh yeah, oh that's right. You can't. You're at the beck and call of your
Right
strong
now,
emotions.
it's a little feeling. Like,
Oh, it's still freezing frame.
Everybody's frozen. Oh, hello, hello. Yep.
This is surprising.
oh, there we go, movement.
Being, we're really being tested at how much this topic is good. Now it seems smooth again.
Yeah.
I can hear your voices, but I can't see you. And Mariah is still the black box as
Yeah, your
always.
video's still freezing.
Bye. I changed cameras and everything.
Oh,
Oh, we're back.
Mariah.
No strong feelings though.
Feeling kind of full, not very strong. It's like I'll participate in whatever it is.
What
But
would make you angry right now, Andrew?
physically, if you were to like punch me or something, but like without warning, it has to hurt a little. Have a flash of anger. So that
What would provoke you to get angry without me physically producing harm?
Dakota, he's a human being. He has all kinds of emotions going on all the time.
I know. I've witnessed him angry at least 5 times today. He's pretty still.
So stop. Don't ask him for an external provocation. Ask him to bring it up.
Andrew, you're being really fucking boring right now.
As if that mattered. Her opinion about you.
You're trying to goad him into
Yeah.
so I did have like a little bit of like it's not even quite anger, it's rebellious. I'm like, well,
That's a different flavor though. That's not the flavor I want.
it's like a quiet fuck you. I'm not gonna let you have it. It's like the game here in my mind is person that gets angry first loses. So if you're but it is coming from a little bit of that same source as anger. It's like combative.
We're on the fucking battlefield right now.
No.
No,
you know,
You'll
not
know
in
when
the
you're on it.
slightest.
Nice. It'll be pretty clear if you're on it, I think. I have a story that at least if you're on it with me, you'll know. It's not gonna be like this lightness.
I know. You're a real sharp asshole when you get triggered.
Why is she flirting so heavily with you?
I'm not flirting. He's my friend.
Yes, you. Oh, Jesus.
Cute. We don't have to, we don't have to be not friends in order to flirt.
We could be, yeah.
It's not answering the question.
God, so much
Yeah, right.
avoidance right now. Hmm.
She's in performative mode. Why?
Me?
She usually goes there when she's unsure of her footing, which I find odd in that house.
I just got here 2 seconds ago, Cray, so I do feel uneven.
Well, stop
That
it.
was really sweet, Cray.
Well, yeah, stop it. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you're
You're not
softened
on
up.
display. You're
Are the
not being
holidays,
sold.
Cray,
What?
are the holidays making you tender?
No. You're doing it again.
Ugh.
And from over here, Dakota, it feels incredibly painful.
Hmm. Can we touch that?
I don't know. What are you fucking asking me for? Jesus.
You want to come into the...
No. Let me ask you this, Cray.
A kiss is but a kiss.
What is painful about it?
What?
What is painful about it in your experience?
That it feels it. My meaning making is that you think you're up on the slave auction block.
Say that one more time.
To me, my meaning making is that you're up on the auction block. You think you're up on the slave auction block.
Hmm. One more time. Hmm.
My meaning making is that you're up on that is a really bad lag.
Damn, I'm going to mute yours while you're setting this.
Hmm. I don't feel that.
I'm going to mute yours while you're...
Is that better, Alton?
Nope.
No.
Oh, well, I suck.
Hmm.
Only on your good days.
Oh my God.
I think I got it, but I won't let myself believe that that's what...
Oh, Yogan, what's up, boy?
Oh no, Andrew's an ageist. Good Lord.
Ugh.
What? What? I'm not following.
Ugh.
There's I take that to mean you uncovered you saw me have another belief about something.
Yep.
Hmm.
I made it that I can't talk to Tamara the way I'm talking to because she's an elderly like type.
She can handle it.
I know she can. Huh? I'm so glad that you're going to let the rest of us know. Elderly like type.
Handle it.
I know she can. Huh?
Ugh.
I'm so glad that you're going to let the rest of us know. Elderly like type.
Handle it.
I know she can. Huh?
Ugh.
I'm so glad that you're going to let the rest of us know. Elderly like
Handle it.
I know she can.
I feel like I'm in a movie.
I'm like cognitively not following this.
Tamara's not muting herself while playing the audio of this call, probably on Facebook in another instance, and so it's looping on here.
Ugh.
Okay.
Ugh.
So are you coming down off the slave block anytime soon, Dakota? Or
What does the slave block even mean?
it means that you think that while you're there, that you have to present in a certain way such that people buy you.
Ugh.
People think you're attractive. People think that you're witty. People think that you're a good cook. You're going to put all of, you don't want them seeing your hemorrhoids when you're up on the auction block.
Ugh.
So you're in performative mode. And when most people are in performative mode, they trot out what they think are their good things. And usually they're not.
Is this you trying to get me to be vulnerable again, Cray?
You're not going to be vulnerable anytime this year. So
Dakota, why aren't you on the camera?
I don't want to be right now. I feel like I need distance, or else if I'm on camera, I'm going to take up a lot of fucking space energetically, even more than I am right now.
Okay.
I don't want that.
Because when she sees herself on screen, she gets on the big auction block and she has to make sure that you're looking at the right things. And so she's going to be very loud about what she thinks the right things that you should be looking at are.
Hmm.
Ray, when people criticize you, like as a coach, I feel like you get more shit than anyone. Oh, sorry, Facebook.
It's so freezy.
I
don't know what's happening.
Are you at
Why
the
do I care what cockroaches think?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you at the point where none of it goes in and
I have a lot of
hurts?
hours of calls and it's never been so freezy. I don't know what's going on here.
No.
And was that something that
I
slowly went away, or that you were able to like turn off at some point?
No, I took it in big chunks. You know, one of the biggest chunks was at a personal growth thing where we were told at lunch to go out and buy the smallest bathing suit we could get on our bodies and wear it underneath our clothes. And then when we got back in our small groups, he says, okay, who's going first? And I said, I'll go first. So I got up on the table and I had to get down to the Speedo I was wearing. And then the exercise was to point at the parts of your body that you had a problem with. And everybody in your small group pointed to that part and laughed their asses off. And then they went to the next body part and the next body part. So,
And that helped you to let it go?
yeah, because I mean, I've always been rotund.
Mhm.
And I've always, people think bad things about me because I'm rotund. I'm a lower life form. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a degenerate. La 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 la. And after that, it was like, So it's a practice.
Yeah. And what's the difference between being triggered and sorry, my brain's going out. I'm kind of nervous because it's live. So stupid. Being triggered and what's the word? Oh, help me. Shit.
Hungry, horny,
No, that you regulating.
dysregulated.
Yeah, that you're supposed to, it's okay to be triggered, but you should be regulating. Somebody said that to me. I'm like,
I know.
okay.
When you're in the depths of a trigger, you're being hijacked by an old belief form who thinks that the thing that's happening, there's only one definition, there's only one experience, there's only one outcome, there's only one set of actions to be taken. You're in a PTSD situation. That's the ultimate. And regulating, you can't regulate if you're been hijacked. Here's my little bunny. Hi. Sorry, I have to make room for my doggy.
When you do the dojo work, though, you're doing things outside of your box of safety. So you're going to be triggered, right? And you're going to.
You're going to be triggered. You may not be hijacked.
Okay.
Okay,
So
Graham.
you're feeling it, but you're still not.
Still choppy.
What do you want, Alton?
I'm ready and supporting of Andrew, getting present to something he doesn't want, so he can get more of the life he wants to live. It's like a trailhead of. Okay, so yeah.
Oh shit. Like there's something about that interaction, like that like kind of made me second guess whatever is going on. So yeah, this is the
victim.
I don't want. Right? It's like there was some kind of self getting in the way of. It's like if I just sort of really let go, then things can be chill and I wouldn't have the oh now I have a resistance to this moment. And I want to, yeah, I guess my character suit that I want to try on is something like that person who is free from this pattern. And it's
What
pretty
pattern?
exhausting. It's like what role do I play? Or like what's the right thing to do? Um
The easiest way is to create a situation inside yourself, an experience where you know that that's one of the things that you should pay attention to. And until that comes up, you ain't doing shit.
this thing that I should be paying attention to.
Yeah, it's like you shouldn't eat unless you actually feel hunger. You shouldn't fight unless you actually feel fear or something. But you're used to looking out there and just trying to find something to do. Especially
Yes.
when it starts to get quiet, you're like, oh shit, it can't be quiet. I need to do something. And it's like, wait a minute, I don't need to do shit. I can wait for a more real impulse for action than it's too quiet.
Yep. Okay. Crux. It's sort of yeah, it's like the default state is very warlike. There's like different voices representing different needs sort of at odds with each other. It's like, yeah, be defended. The world is a dangerous place. If you're not defended, you're not safe. No, 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 let go because defending is so exhausting. It's like, actually, can the voices just be here and not fight each other? Can there be a ceasefire? And like,
There can be, but that means that you're going to have to be superior to both of those voices. If you're not going to show up, those voices are going to keep going at each other forever.
yeah, yeah.
That's the dance they have.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to stand up and say, sit down, sit down.
Let me handle
I'm
it.
in charge here, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to be defended, and I'm not going to attack. I'm going to practice seeing with the river. It's easy. I imagine that this would be both difficult and easy for you at some sort of gathering. Find yourself a comfortable chair and don't interact with anybody until they come up and interact with you. And you should start sweating in about 2 minutes.
I'll bring something that feels connected to that. So that's how I'm trying to show up to dating, actually. So there used to be this pursuit of people I want to date. And then now I'm like, I'm gonna be still and they can come to me. And then yeah, so per
Yeah,
your
but what are you
prediction,
offering?
well, I don't have to offer shit, I thought, right? I thought that
No,
was
no. Relationships are always, and I'm talking about the dating. Relationships are transactional. Okay, so if you're sitting there, how are you arranging your pixels to get the person that you want to date you to date you? What are you doing, you silly little? You can't go in there. That's the laundry room. No, you can't. All right, hang on. The other dog's barking. I know. Hang on. Hang on. Yes, yes. There's something really exciting going on.
What a good sitcom.
Really exciting things going on here.
Yeah, in order to have somebody want to come into your pool to drink your water and to keep wanting to drink your water, you need to offer them something once they get to the pool to drink. What is that?
He's already doing it. All relationships are transactional. The dating that he's been having isn't up to his standards. So now we're going to say, okay, what kind of coin do you want to put out there on the table to get better people coming to dance with you? Now you can sit there like you're sitting there, and it's not going to attract much. You have a cute smile, you have nice teeth, la 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 la. But
Hmm.
it's like, why would anybody want to interact with that unless they have a fetish about how your pixels show up?
T group capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
But as
explore the
he's
inner
sitting there,
landscape. What?
there's nothing about T group that's showing up.
There's some high meta aware frames he was sharing.
Mm.
I know there's some kind of I'm like learning something here. It's like I'm trying to put into words.
You're not even willing to put out what you think the bait is going to be for the person that you really want to date with you. You're scared to be that thing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You're hiding the same way that Dakota hides. Different flavor.
Oh, okay. Well, what I can offer now is there is, yeah, even though I'm sitting here seeming like I'm not doing anything, I am actually actively not doing something, as opposed to just be out of the way of whatever wants to be done or something.
How are you going to show up such that the person is going, I really want a wild time with somebody? Where is that? Oh my God, Andrew fits the bill. He looks like a wild time. Yeah, exactly. You don't look predatory at all. You don't look like you have teeth. You don't look dangerous. You look like billiards is your idea of a wild and crazy time.
Really?
Look at your pixels.
Huh.
You're
Hmm.
wearing gray. It's baggy.
Hmm. Okay. So
You
yeah,
got
there's like,
lips, I'll grant you that. You got lips and a smile to beat, to beat anybody. Your eyebrows help, but you're not willing to have them be ferocious.
okay, okay. Ooh, that hits. So this is a version of me. There's another version of me that is actually really aggressive, and I.
Any day now.
So you wanna do that? Like I guess I. Ooh.
I'd like to see it.
Why don't,
Anybody can talk the talk.
Andrew, why did you decide you don't want to pursue and you just want to sit there and let them come to you?
There's like some kind of I'm in touch with like a graspiness that shows up in a lot of different dimensions, and I'm trying to not let that be so tiring for me.
So
Like,
he's going to do the grasping of the anti-grasp.
so you come across as needy and turn people off?
No, no, it's more like
No.
I don't give relationships the space to sort of unfold. I need certainty, and it's really vulnerable to be uncertain. So then I try to sort of predict the future, predict this person, which is really
Sounds needy to me.
ah
My
okay.
story.
Right. So I have a story that I don't need anything from them, but actually I need them to be the way I predict them to be. Okay. You're having
Boy,
a
that sounds fun.
I've been encouraged to let all kinds of stuff out. So I don't want to let that go, but I will respect boundaries.
The change wish you like that.
But I don't want to be aggressive. That's not the I want to see. There's
What
plenty
is
of
the
that
thing
in the
you want to
world.
say?
It's like a calm power, calm like belief in is actually is like not necessary.
How does that show up in tone, body language, words?
I thought it's how I've been showing up this whole time. But this is the as far as I know right now.
Do you feel like you're who you want to be right now?
Like I don't want to be coached or whatever the fuck is happening right
I'm
now.
just asking you what you want. If it's different from what's happening right now, I'm not trying to coach you. I'm just
Fuck, we're having a fight now? Like you're not putting yourself in this.
Dakota, are you just you're typing on your phone when he's asking direct questions? I'm confused with you.
It's like, and also you can name a boundary because I guess I didn't hear you say that. That's why.
I think I'm intentionally being a bad communicator to enrage Andrew.
Okay, so you want to feel his intensity and you want other people to experience that.
Yeah, and I think
So
there's a way the intensity can boil into something that's in between I'm a bad boy and I'm aggressive, and I'm like still and observing and like quiet. Like there's somewhere in between where there's like a way in which you can be powerful, but in a way that's really still, that I want more of from you.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Unfortunately, what you said just disarmed whatever aggression was bubbling.
Ah,
Because like you're like, oh, I'm doing this in service of, and I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of nice. How can I be mad at that? I can't be mad at that though. It's like that sucks. Yeah, you were doing a nice thing, but you didn't really do it. So fuck you. Like you fucked it up. This smirk is like what's going on, man? Okay, look, I would not like performatively be angry. Like what the fuck? Like that's not, is that, who does that help? You know? Like,
well, I have it that it's a proof of work for potential prospective romantic partners to see
oh,
that
is
you're
that what's
willing.
happening? Is there people who want to date me watching this stream? Like,
I've messaged a couple, I mean, well, I have it that there's always a fractal representation of you,
Sure.
and that I imagine any form of consistency test of shunning you in ways that
Okay.
should generate anger.
All right. I don't think anger is the pitch though. Who wants that? Who wants to be with anger, you
it's
know?
not anger, it's passion.
Okay.
When you're sitting there still, it's like you're an empty canvas and I don't know what to interact
Got
with.
it.
But I
Okay,
imagine
okay.
other women feel that way too. It's like, why would they come up to you when there's nothing to engage with?
All right.
Other than like, oh, you
Now I
look
get it.
decent, but who are you?
Tell her to shut the fuck up.
Her?
She made her point and she's going on and on and on and on.
Fuck you, Cray.
No, not on your best day.
Okay. I hear the message. All right. But I don't want to strain. I guess I'll share some of my values. It's like I don't really want to, I aspire to accept people how they are. So I don't really want to like mold myself a certain way. I'm like trying to build this capacity. Oh, there's my offering. It's like there was a coin, right? You want a coin? It's like, oh, I believe my pitch is there is a lack of just sort of witnessing and acceptance. What the fuck is
Why
that?
do I want to dance with somebody who's witnessing and accepting of me?
I don't.
Why would you want that? A stone Buddha can do that.
I don't think that's true.
Really?
There's active listening, and then there's Stone Buddha that is a statue, right?
Why do I want somebody active listening to me?
I think you might not, but people do.
Why?
Craig, can you listen?
A lot of people want to be racist. A lot of people want to be misogynistic. A lot of people want to vote Republican. Doesn't mean they should. All right. Just because it feels good, you're pulling the Jeffrey Dahmer card.
Okay.
How is you being witnessing and what was the other word you used?
I forgot. Doesn't matter. Not important, apparently.
Yes. Witnessing and being calm with people. How does that get them to be bigger and stronger? And more of the
Getting
dance
them
that
to
you
be
want to
bigger and
have.
stronger, a good like it's like I guess I can try some of what I think you're doing on you. It's like, look, we're using words, and words are sort of, you can just question whether they mean what they mean and the value of them. I guess the reality is people want to be listened to. That in my experience, in my reality.
I don't give a shit what they want. There are plenty of people that want to do beat up homos too.
And
There are plenty of people who
shouldn't want that. Like just because they want a thing doesn't mean they should. It's about okay.
I'm like, I don't want to listen to their bullshit. I don't want to listen to somebody who's talking about how Trump is a wonderful person. Just because they want it to happen doesn't mean that I have to put up with it.
That's right. I agree with that.
So then why are you just blanketing saying people want to be listened to? I'm like, I'm not going to listen to you unless you have something that I want to hear. Bring it something to the table that I want. Then I'll listen to you. If that's being performative, then you're acknowledging that this is a two-way street, that you have to bring me something that I want in order for me to interact with you. You don't get the right to have me listen to you simply because you want to say something.
Okay. Okay.
No, Dakota doesn't know this yet. Dakota doesn't know that most of the stuff that she's saying, people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear her labeling them and psychoanalyzing them and telling them how they should be living their lives and how they can change to make her feel better. Most people don't want to hear that.
Are you able to help me by naming what you think people want? Because I guess I'm hearing a lot of what people don't want.
I don't know. What Alton wants, what Dakota wants, what Tambora wants, what Yokin wants. In the uneducated form, they want to be special. They want to show up as being value positive. And there's something about bringing pleasure, and that can be a plus or minus. When you go to the party tonight, listen to what people are talking about. If you cut it all down, it's how smart am I? How dumb am I? How smart are you? How dumb are you? And straight information. That's about all it boils down to.
It's like acceptance, belonging, like some kind of lets them avoid pain, some kind of freedom from, or a distraction from suffering.
No. Most people are into pain. Okay? Their lives are painful. And that's the way they're setting it up. They don't want to escape from the pain because that would mean that they'd have to do something different. And they don't want to do that. This is their little self-abusive box that's predictable.
Okay.
People don't want to leave their abusive spouse. Huh? You think the things that you want, Andrew, are so weird and like you can't go after them? It's like talking with Alton earlier. It's like, why do you really care what your history is telling you about what might happen with talking to this woman? Why do you care? Oh, but she looks like your mother and your mother didn't like it when you did this. And it's like, why do you care?
I don't think these are consciously animated come-froms, but I care to the extent that I get to like be with them and then dissolve these patterns that I imagine are yanking me away from the present and just being with people.
Why would you just want to be with people? Don't you want to dance? Don't you want to argue? Don't want to cook? Don't you want to fuck? Don't you want to fight? Don't you want to have a good time?
Yeah, that comes on the foundation. That goes on the foundation of just being, if I can afford to just be with myself and then, or with them, then
you don't want to be with yourself. You want to dance. You want to live. You're a human being.
Without just the being layer, then I make up a lot of it's in reaction to.
Oh, God. Fine. I'm going to be with myself.
Yeah, as a baseline layer, if that's not there, you can kind of taste when someone's just in reaction mode or they're just like trying to get something.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that being is the alternative to reactionary mode.
Well, I'm asserting that it's upstream, and that once that's in place, then there's so much more that's actually available. But until then, I don't really relate to them as anything other than an
Why
NPC.
don't you just, so instead of being with yourself, just don't be with the reactive parts.
Sure,
All right.
that's I guess for cursor to me this is all right.
Isn't the turkey done yet?
There, 40-ish.
The cookies must be done.
Technically, yeah, I started earlier, so we can complete earlier. But I have it that I'm enjoying this particular thread, and this will
Damn.
nourish.
Dakota, have you gone brain dead?
I'm thinking about the thing you said about what to look for at the party tonight. Here are what the people are talking about.
Yep.
That paints a really kind of downer picture for me. It's like, oh, all these
Yep.
people just sort of. So I guess like, all right. It's almost like a part of me doesn't want to see this downer picture so clearly because I could
Yep.
sort of pretend to enjoy the party, right? Or
Yep.
I could like sort of looking at this and sad about it.
Yep. Or you can choose to do something different. You could show up differently to make different things happen. Oh no. You mean my experience is dependent upon what I'm choosing to do? Oh no, not that. Be safe, Andrew. Be safe.
People, kind of like you
Don't challenge them.
Report back.
Yeah. Be nice. Make
Not
them
provoke,
feel
that's
good.
Not kind. That's what you're doing is something nicer than provoke. It's like the Zen people that like hit you with a stick. It's sort of it seems not nice, but it's actually kind of cool. It's like or not cool. I don't like that word. What am I saying? Yeah, it's like in service of something.
Yeah, why don't you try smacking people? If you smack people with a wooden sword, you give them a chance to own their yes, no, or avocado. Otherwise, you're just feeding them predigested food.
My coin is I will smack you with a wooden sword.
No, you won't. You'll think you are.
Can't win with you.
You might hit me with a wooden toothpick. I'll grant you that.
So hit him harder.
Meh, meh, meh.
I don't. Okay.
I smite you.
In this moment, I'm tempted to try to hit you with something, but you're like.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Better.
No, you're not.
I don't really.
You're pretending
to not retaliate and kind of hit me with like.
Whoa! Am I going to make your head explode?
There's also like I don't really like the visual. It's like finding. It's like it's so mean and people. Yeah, it's like yeah.
You're not allowed to be mean.
It sucks. Like
you won't be popular if you're mean.
No, it's not that. It's like, dude, it's like about perpetuating pain or something. Hurt.
Pain is not optional. Pain is not optional. Suffering is.
Yeah, but we don't have to make pain worse by, it's like, okay.
You don't like a good spanking every now and then?
Like, I don't think so.
Dakota?
Maybe I just haven't had a good one, so.
Dakota? There's a grown man there who says he hasn't experienced a good spanking. You are falling down on the job.
Andrew, I have the experience that you're talking around the thing a lot instead of doing the thing.
She's doing Andrew right now. How does that feel, Andrew? She's doing
kind of
you
frustrating,
right
to
now.
be honest.
Yes! Guess what everybody else feels? But they're too polite to tell you that you're boring them to tears. She could have whacked you with a stick, but what did she do? She took out one of her politically correct little toothpicks and hit you on the shoulder and said, "Didn't that hurt?"
I want to invite people who are bored to bring some shit into the conversation.
Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, don't do anything on your own. Make it about other people. There you go. Way to be a model.
It would actually be not authentic to me now.
Oh,
We're
so you're not going to. So we should let all the people who are hurting other people authentically let them go. Yeah.
Different character.
Yeah, authenticity in this case from this Dojo ROM, it just implies that you're further addicting yourself to the previous things that haven't worked, and that's why we're here.
Okay, helpful context. Thank you.
Helpful context.
And there's a version of you that has like this challenger energy that Dakota knows and is familiar with, and that I think leads you to being
the challenger energy is like usually directed at others, though. It's like usually like I'm poking at stuff.
Okay, well then do it.
You can still do that with like your past you too, or us. I mean, Cray is very open for that. He's consistently been asking for it, as far as I see.
What? Somebody said my name. What?
Well,
Old man.
So I asked him about if he could name what people want. It's like, what's your coin? And I sort of got like a no response.
Micah, what do people want from me? I don't understand. If you're asking what do people want in general, they want to be special. They want their black holes reinforced. Okay? Their fundamental definitions of who and what they are, they want those reinforced. All right?
And then you don't want to offer them that because they shouldn't want that. Or it's like just because they want it doesn't mean they should get it. Doesn't mean they should.
I don't know. If you want to demonstrate, if you want to reaffirm Dakota's belief that she's a piece of shit, then fine, go ahead and do that. If that's what you want to do.
Dakota, do you have that belief that you're a piece of shit?
No.
Craig, do you have a reaction to her saying no to your...
Yeah, she's lying. Why do you think she's up on the slave block? The reason she's on the slave block is because she thinks that she's a piece of shit and she has to hide the shit because if people saw it, they wouldn't buy her. She's in performative mode. She's putting what she thinks are the things. Yeah, I know. That's fine. She's a grunting.
I'm trying to do a challenger thing, and I guess I'm named. I don't know how to do it with.
Let's just try this on. Can you project some shit onto either of the two characters in the room right now?
Okay. Project some shit.
I'm right here.
Project it on Cray.
I'm old, I'm white, I'm male, I'm privileged.
That's interesting. I think what hurts the most, so I'm projecting what will hurt you the most is if I called you a fake enlightened person. It's like this song and dance, pretending to be sort of free from whatever.
No.
Like sort of pseudo-philosophical stuff, pretending to be people with Zen sticks. Like, okay, no, as in not getting a reaction, a fake enlightened person would have that.
I don't care about being enlightened.
It's a null concept. It's like I'm I don't really care if I can provoke you or not. I don't really know, like, I don't know if that would be. I tried and it didn't work, and I'm kind of good with that.
Good. I'm glad you're good with having a very tiny penis.
Ooh, okay. It is average, I'll have you know.
Well.
Okay.
Wait, I don't understand, Craig, what you're trying to get at here. You want to evoke a version of him that challenges something, and you want something to land? Or you're trying to...
I want something that shows some force. He's not. He's relying on philosophical. Dakota, can I use you?
Depends upon how.
No, it's a yes or a no question.
No.
Okay. It's being able to impact somebody with a baseball bat rather than inscribing a note and then handing it to them.
Okay, I could see that.
Okay.
And you evoke that by positioning yourself to be beat up by him with a baseball bat?
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's like
He's
just
unwilling
literally
to
just
get
stepped
the
into the
pen out
room.
of his hand. From his point of view, he's not striking from his red. He's writing me a note, a nasty note in class and passing it to me.
All right. So I'm being invited to go play a character that just like hurts people.
Yep, with a baseball bat.
All right.
I mean, but it sounds
Nah.
like
Get in touch with that. It's like so fucking toxic, and I don't see the point.
oh, okay, that sounds juicy already.
Yeah, it's like I'm angry about being invited to do this thing that is really shitty, I think. And like, who the
Yeah,
fuck?
guess what a racist thinks about treating other
Right.
people
Yeah,
equally?
this invitation is kind of fucked up. It's like, isn't there enough
It's
of this?
acting school, Andrew. It's freaking acting school. It's not going to change the color of your soul.
What's the point of rehearsing violence and aggression like that?
Because
You can stop
maybe
being
you will-
hogtied by it.
maybe
Sorry,
you will
Tamara.
have the strong, fiery woman want to come up to you because she'll see something other than, oh, I'm politically correct and I don't get angry at people. Like there's nothing that
That's
was
such
wrong.
bullshit. That's not me, but I don't need to walk into a room and declare to the world how politically not correct I am. Like, what the
How
fuck?
passionate you are, you sure do. And right now, your passion is locked behind the anger door.
Okay. Yeah, because people are scared of my anger. And that makes me
I'm
angry.
waiting.
And I have to bottle it the fuck up.
Scare me. Scare
You
me.
might not be scared because, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And shit.
Well, you're hanging out with
Scare
idiots
me,
then.
Jokin. Scare us.
Yeah, Jokin's about ready to fall asleep. Too much
Yeah, I'm bored.
1792.
I'm ready to scroll on Facebook here. I'm so
No, I haven't
1792.
had any today, Craig.
Oh, yeah. What is going on with the chat? Okay, sorry,
Oh,
distraction.
just yeah.
Got it.
Why would a woman want to pick you over some other man sitting in a chair being passive?
All right. There is kind of a like I don't okay, I'm in touch with some frustration. It's like ever since school, there is this dynamic of women want the bad boys. And it's like I tried playing the bad boy and ended up in really unsatisfying relationships. That's not me. And then like, and she has some, it's like a place of hurt that makes people want that, I think. And I'm like, I don't really, dude, what the fuck is with the, are you really sleeping? Or is that like some kind of, you want some anger or something? Like,
Yeah, throw some freaking anger.
Jesus, like this is so, all right.
You're probably a guy, a woman would be like, well, I want to have sex tonight. I'll pick Andrew for 20 minutes and then I'll never think of him again. That's how I see you.
I don't even want that kind of sex, to be honest. It's like
What kind do you want?
it's like
What kind do
intimacy.
you want?
Intimacy. Like something that's not some kind of like I'm gonna try to fuck you up energy, you know? Like
Oh, we're going to be in. Yeah, this is the sensitive new age guy intimacy.
as far as I know, this is not pretend. Could be that you know, a couple years later I realize how embarrassing it is. Right now, I think that's what I want. I'm not gonna change that just because I'm getting called out on it. Like
I know, but you're like Jeffrey Dahmer. Right now, I like having sex with 14-year-old boys and then cutting their heads off and putting them in my fridge. That's what is authentic for me now, and therefore I'm going to. Don't you want to think about? No, it's authentic for me. Well, philosophically, fuck your philosophy. It feels good. I'm doing it. That's what you're saying, Andrew. You're saying because it feels authentic, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to look at the implications of it. I'm not going to look at, because this is what I am, what am I going to be attracting? You're just like, you're in that narcissistic, this is what I feel like, therefore I'm going to do it. If you look out there, you can look at all those politicians and you're going to criticize them because they're doing that exact same thing. And you're unwilling to look at yourself and say, wait a minute, I do feel like going and shooting up a kindergarten, but I'm not going to do it. But I really want to. You're not looking at the life around you and saying, wait a minute, what is my not wanting to engage with things that other people aren't going to like, and doing it effectively? What would that be like? If I could get people to do what I want, even if they didn't like it, might that make me more effective in my own life?
So I actually tried that. Maybe it doesn't, I really tried that. Like, I used to try to control people and ask them just sort of, like,
well, you might want to get some more practice.
With inflicting pain when they don't do it. And that's not like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, that didn't work. That's not a good life.
Jesus, you're going to want to get some more nuance. Stop trying to be Donald Trump. Okay? Use some nuance. Use some drama. You're good at sucking people in. Okay? Appeal to their narcissistic desires. You can do this, Andrew. I believe that when you decided to go out there and be Mr. Big and Tough, that you were going to say, you know what? I can't do this, so I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to make sure I do this very, very badly, so I never have to play tennis ever again. I hate playing tennis, and the only way that my mom and dad are going to let me out of playing tennis is if I screw it up really royally.
Rebelling against something.
Yeah, you're rebelling by being quiet and nice.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. It's like that fieriness that used to be directed outward now is directed inward, and
yep.
So
you get to be a big piece of shit. Yay! You get to reinforce what mommy and daddy probably said.
Okay, so what's your invitation for him to wield his anger? And like, what would that look like?
Do it in ways that aren't going to have people call the police. Try to be passionate instead of angry. You know, if you have to, you know, ask Alton about the sandbag and the aluminum bat. You put it away for a reason. You just didn't wake up one day and say, I'm not going to be angry anymore. You put it away because there was a very good reason back when you were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so you have to go back and reclaim the anger, I think, because that's sitting on top of your passion. You put away anger as a kid, and mistakenly, because you didn't have a lot of brains as a little kid, you put away all the other fiery emotions as well. And now you have to go back and tell that little kid that he doesn't have to hold that anymore, that you'll do it. And you have to reclaim that stuff before you can build an adult vocabulary, dance moves, and skill sets around passion. Because whenever I believe, again, this is me theorizing, whenever you start to have any one of the numerous things that come out of passion, that little kid thinks this is too close to anger. We need to shut it down. Wouldn't you rather be making cookies?
I guess let me reflect on the last bit you said. And I guess I could be
So,
making cookies when I do that, while I do that.
so stop trying to bring it into the shallow end. Wouldn't you rather be making cookies? No. And just let it go. Or say, yes, I would rather be making cookies than listening to your bullshit, old man.
Hmm. What about if I did that and your feelings are hurt?
Oh, I'm so glad that you're accountable for how I feel. I thought that was my job. Oh, that's right. I want you contorting yourself in 1,000 different ways that aren't you so that I feel good. God damn, I love authenticity. I want Andrew showing up, not who Andrew thinks he needs to be to have me like him.
Hmm.
My feelings get hurt. Oh no! Oh, quick, the smelling salts! My feelings are hurt! Help! Oh!
Oh man, like living in the
I
Bay
mean,
Area, there was just like a lot of policing like that. And you know,
I understand. That's why the fuck you live in the Bay Area? I don't know. It's like, would you live in
oh, so you don't live
Mississippi?
here.
This is the name.
No, fuck no, Jesus.
Okay.
I was back in the day when living in the Bay Area meant you had balls. No, no,
Gonna
no.
be canceled. He was
Dude,
here.
totes so fast.
Andrew,
Mm.
would you go live in Mississippi in 1960?
You know what? That's kind of, I'd be down. Yeah.
Why?
There's some wildness to it.
Wildness, you could get killed because of the racist bigotry there.
Not if I killed him first.
There's a lot more of them than there are of you.
Yeah.
Get really good at shooting. I've seen some
No.
action really inspired.
Yeah, it's God help us all. Guess how many Jews there were in Germany?
Hmm. I think I actually know this number. So
I can't help the people you keep company with. If you want to hang out with a bunch of emotional retards and weak-willed people who are afraid they're getting their feelings hurt, then that's fine. That's your life. Do what you
oh,
want.
I see where this is going. Yeah, yeah. I don't really hang out with those people.
Evidence to the
It's more
contrary.
like when I'm on a call with strangers and I don't know what kind of people they are, and I'm not trying to stir shit up.
Oh,
Sometimes I'm just like, you know,
yep.
I think that's a
You're a
reason.
good dick sucker. Yay.
Because look, man, I'm sorry, I'm learning to trust you more, but like before
Oh, fuck trust. Jesus Christ.
I don't know, if I called you an old man and this turned into a whole fucking thing, and then I just met this
Then
guy, like I have
at least you'd have fun.
manage.
I call Tamara an old bitch all the time.
I'm happy
Hey, laugh.
the two of you.
Do I look like my feelings are hurt?
No, it sounds like that's because you have this rapport where you know that.
No,
that
it's not
actually,
rapport. It's because we treat each other like adults.
There's not a lot of people like that in.
I understand that, and you just keep going around dancing with the kids in the special ed kindergarten. Fine.
So
Okay, I'm just saying, before I find out if somebody is an adult, I don't want to assume they're an adult and then have the little kid be all crying. Like I don't want to deal with, and then
Fine.
other little kids are gonna be like, "Oh my God, you made this little kid cry, and you're such a fucking bad person." Sometimes
Yep.
I like to have, sort of
Fine.
distant friendships with some kids, and that's okay.
Fine.
Things to offer.
Because if you want to be a pedophile, that's fine. I don't care.
You know what? If gratitude is bad, then pedophile in this context could be good.
It could be. It could be.
Right, we're getting it. We're good places.
So this brings me back to the beginning, Alton, when you were talking about Sophia, where you set boundaries with other people's behaviors, and they take sometimes, I'm not saying she does this, but it sounds like you're saying sometimes it's taken as a rejection
Yeah.
or it becomes a bigger thing. So, Cray, aren't there times where you have to see if the person is trainable? Like I'm not rejecting you, I'm rejecting this behavior, but is that,
Most people can't hear that.
Mm-mm.
And if
yeah,
you want them to stay around, then you take it little tiny baby steps, but not as small as Andrew makes them.
okay.
Those are so small as to not be noticeable.
Yeah, and I'll add for the one with Sophia is that I didn't have the skillfulness because I was still at effect of my like childhood character suit, that I was in reaction when I felt like I couldn't offer her infinite bandwidth to process with her. And because I was in reaction against it, it was like an impure intent, which anyone can smell. And then like there's actually an energetic rejection of actually her.
So you're saying rather than say, I can listen to 5 minutes of your feelings and then I'm going to lunch, you were just like, get away from me, it's too much, like a complete.
I mean, there were many times where I wasn't, but like I think the
Say,
result,
Alton, say yes.
yes, thank you. And until yesterday, I don't think that I had any slack around that. And that was something that was a significant breakthrough for me to see that I would instantly harden or like colden my heart. And then that was consistently like the thing that would kill relationships.
Right, so that's almost like what Andrew was saying, to not hurt Cray's feelings. It's like I'm getting lost in my own thought. But sorry, I got lost there.
Thank you for bringing that. I see that it is.
Yeah, because I it's easy to, when you're relationshiping, to see the other person's shortcomings, and then I relate to what you were saying because I tend to be very emotional and want to process a lot. And I could see where there'd be value in, like my husband saying, I can listen to this for 5 minutes and then I'm going to take an hour. Like to set boundaries with, rather than trying to please, 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 and then he's getting angry, right? Be able to say, I'm not, it's too much.
And you, being the smarter of the two,
Yeah.
and make sure that you never share for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell kind of fun is that?
Yeah, I need a muzzle,
Yeah.
a literal one.
I think you look cute in a muzzle.
Thank you for an old lady.
No, just period.
Yeah, period. Thank you. Yeah,
Uh-oh,
like
Andrew's got his polite fade
in
on.
this environment, like when I was confronting you a little bit, I've never met you before. But that's the gift of this sort of work, is you get to kind of stretch and confront people and push. I pushed on you, even though I didn't know if you're gonna get mad at me or not. And you might have. I don't know. I don't really care.
It is something that I think just will become more of the default background. And then, yeah, you'll select more into your life, more adults. And then the children that can't stand it will filter out of your life.
Or you'll kill them.
Kill them metaphorically.
How's Sophia doing, Alton?
Great. I had a fantastic interaction with her a couple weeks ago. And singing, she's so happy now in life. And I'm glad. That's it.
She winged me. We facilitated together.
Sophia Mendez.
Oh wait,
You're
wrong
talking about
one.
Sophia Zhang.
Oh, sorry, my bad. But I was talking to her yesterday, actually.
Right. Well, and Sophia Zhang, I would say I still had a similar challenge.
Yeah.
Which is
I was facilitating for last night.
Yeah. I don't know if you know them.
I know the Zhang Sophia. We were at the same.
Yeah, so some other broader contexts, I was in relationship with both Sophias for just under 2 years, and serially, and that was very.
Yeah, you better make damn sure it's not the same time.
We gotta figure out who the next Sophia
It's
is.
definitely a lot. That's.
Yeah. Gotta find a date me doc, but they gotta be named Sophia.
I want to hear more about where you were going with that.
Mhm.
You were saying the relationships with both Sophia sequentially, and then it sounded like there was more, maybe.
It was mostly in support or in service of having you rock the gravity of if you like continue down this path, then yes, you're gonna stop hanging out with children a lot. And I make up that you'll have a very
You're
different.
saying those are children, examples of children who no longer hang out, you no longer hang out with as a result of this path.
No, those were me sharing my personal examples vulnerably around like areas where that didn't work for me and areas where I was still being a child about something where I felt I had no choice but to be in those connections, either to expose myself to endless what I thought was endless processing, even if they probably actually only wanted 10 minutes. It would feel like endless for me. And so I would have to like harden my heart and not be available for them. Or I would listen to them and it would like somehow become like many hours and then I would just feel bad and resentful.
The reaction of the child is what you're speaking to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm owning that I, by default, would end up in childlike things like that. And I don't know if they have like, they're not necessarily in the listening for how to more gracefully dance with those dynamics either. And then so I'm just leading them down a damned if you do and damned if you don't path. And that's how all my future relationships will go until I do more work like this, is my assertion.
Got it. Appreciate your context. I don't know Sophia very well, just kind of like her vibes. So I guess I'm now having a window into, from this perspective. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm
yeah,
sharing.
thank you for sharing.
I swear, you just got to carry a dead fish. And anytime anybody says, thank you for setting context or thank you for sharing, you just hit him with the fish. It won't last more than a weekend.
Yeah, no, I wish I hung out with, it sounds more free to be
Yeah.
friends with you and your friends than the friends that I have right now. It's like, this stuff is like, I lived in the Bay Area 2 years. I didn't use thank you for sharing before. I was just like,
Right, we need to turn that like that into a game. Like where would people use certain vocab words in a circle, we hit them with something.
Thank you for sharing bingo.
Yes.
It's like a ritual.
Let me know when you climb down off that podium, Dakota. I'm curious as to what kind of price you get.
Excuse me, Craig?
I'm curious to see what kind of price you get for being up on that auction block.
It's interesting to me that that is the bait that you're putting out right now.
Yep. Why?
Well, what's interesting is I had many people on my path to coming here today tell me that I needed to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not feel good about that. And I'm sitting here now. Less than
Okay, wait a minute. You didn't feel good about how they were telling you to perform?
Correct.
So it's not whether you're performing or not, it's the flavor of the performance.
I didn't feel good about the flavor of performance that people were saying that I should embody.
Oh, I agree with you. They're a bunch of retards. They're the same people that Andrew hangs out with. Yes, you hang out with a bunch of retards.
Pray,
I'm going to get in trouble for that. I look forward to your emails. Whoops. God. I'm an old man. I've had too much brandy tonight. Dakota, it's always transactional. There's a difference between going up and talking to Andrew about what's on the table and agreeing on a price, and the difference of putting yourself up on an auction block and presenting the sides that you think are going to get you the most coin. Those are two very different dances.
I agree.
And it sounds like
I
right
think
now,
I'm not. Go ahead.
it sounds like you're on the auction block to me. And that's just an old man's interpretation.
It doesn't.
You're putting
feel
your
that way for
superpowers
me, and I
out
know
there. Hmm?
I'm putting my powers out, you're saying.
Yes. That's how you can tell
Yeah.
that somebody's on the auction block.
Do you have a meaning associated, or do you have, is it like negative or positive?
No, you're not selling, you're selling yourself as an expert. You're not selling yourself as a human being.
It just is.
Hmm?
Oh boy.
And what's your
You're
story around that? Like, do you see
Around what?
do you see one as better? Do you see human
No.
beings?
I'm not going to buy you as a slave because I think it's dull and boring.
You think
I'm not
you
going to
think
interact with
the
you. Hmm?
you think the superpower expert role is slave?
Yes.
I
Dakota,
want to understand more about that.
Dakota, I'm still waiting to meet Dakota, not the coach.
I don't share her regularly with people. She is only afforded to those who pay a heavy price.
Oh, God. Is that Andrew doing the ventriloquism thing? Huh?
Well,
God, he sounds a lot like Dakota.
I'd like to meet her. I'm not going to pay a bunch of money to meet her.
Yep. The difficulty is that because you're not bringing the human out there, all you're getting is people who want experts. And every time that somebody buys you as an expert, your child realizes that they don't care about you as a person.
I don't feel particularly concerned with people caring about me as a person. I have people
Fine.
do that for me. I don't need a lot of those.
Fine. Then be a professional with clients. I don't have any problem with that. Sell your expertise and get people to buy your expertise. You will be in a professional and a client relationship that you're probably going to make it sound like you're buddies or something, but you're really not. You're not on an equal human thing. You're setting yourself up as an expert, and for them to buy your services, they have to need an expert.
Sure. So you're saying what I'm missing is by not bringing more of my humanness forward, I'm missing being met.
In a
Yeah.
human way. Yep. That's all.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just a
it's,
different dance.
yeah, sure. It's interesting because, like, I do feel there are people who meet me, but comparative to how many of my clients, like,
Fine.
it's like 80% plus and 20%, maybe less than that, human. And I don't necessarily love that, but I have limitations. And I'm not actively through who I'm being in the way in which I want. And I also don't know if it's my priority in the moment, but it is a priority for like the future.
Okay, great. So what's like the path forward for a couple minutes to the top of the hour here? So
Oh. For Dakota,
yeah.
she has a strange duality between humans and clients.
Got it. So you're implying that she's making up this false delusional dichotomy, like winnowing herself into a corner, and then okay, so she gets to feel righteous or something. And what's instead of that could be dissolving that false dichotomy.
I think that she would have. I think she would have more of the life if she lived, if she would stop narrowing herself down to what she thinks her superpower is and practices being more human with that stuff on the side. Stop leading with being the expert.
Mm-hmm.
It's really difficult for me to not do that because I'm so good at it and I know what I want.
Wah. That's what Trump says every day of his life. That's what Jeffrey Dahmer said every day of his life. How can I not lead with cutting the heads off of 14-year-old boys? I'm good at this.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, those are pretty good, clear paths forward. Just stop entertaining these shitty stories. And
Humanness with
No.
That's not it.
Don't stop. Create the new.
sure.
So for Dakota, it's like, how can I be completely humanly engaged with you and you still want to buy my expertness?
Mm,
Have you ever met a neurosurgeon, Dakota?
oh, of
Yes.
course. Right. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So humanness, what does that look like in behaviors? Measurable
You
behaviors?
tell me what that looks like for Dakota. That's the important thing. Not what Yokin thinks about it, not what Alton thinks about it, not what Andrew thinks about it, but what Dakota thinks about it. And that is an ongoing transformational process. In 5 years, you will probably have a very different answer.
I'm trying to be receptive to your wisdom, even though without.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Really? I would take. I'm trying to understand what you're saying, Cray. I'm trying to be open to your wisdom. Jesus Christ.
I use facilitator speak all the time. You know that.
Doesn't mean I have to like it.
I know.
So put up with it. Or don't. I don't care.
Okay, so how we can we bring this into our upcoming dinner? And I know that we're loosely at the top of that.
No, you're not going to bring this into your dinner. Dakota's going to go down and do the best she can. Andrew's going to do the best he can. You're going to do the best you can. You're going to try to have a civil human time. And your goal is to make sure that these people have a really great Thanksgiving. Because they've been downstairs working their asses off while you've been sitting up here having fun time. Now you have, all three of you have a bunch of stuff rolling around in you. Can you actually have the audacity to put this stuff to the side and make sure that dinner is a really wonderful time for most of the people there? Put your own privileged little narcissism aside and have a great dinner with a bunch of really great people and hopefully some really great food. We know there's going to be some kick-ass cookies. So.
And this is important that it's separate and not like Dakota was implying that you could still bring your humanist to the thing.
Well,
you guys.
Let's just go cry together.
No, don't cry. Just go have a good time.
Yeah, but crying can be fun.
Yeah. Andrew's like, what the fuck is the bitch talking about? What? Yeah. Just go have a pleasant time. You don't have to be, not swinging from the chandeliers. Don't be overly dramatic. Thanksgiving is usually a really stressful time for people. Just try to make it a good time. Wear your adult waders. Nod at their stupid ass fucking stories one more fucking time. Pass potatoes, please. Act like adults, not overprivileged, narcissistic Californiaites.
Right.
Especially you, Dakota. You're going to want to swing from the chandeliers.
All right, I'll let it loose.
No, don't. That's the whole point.
All right, I'll just swallow everything and turn into something else, I guess.
Well, swallow if you want to. Spit if you don't.
Ugh.
Okay. Can I go?
Bye.
You
I'm
can
not
go.
asking you.
Later.
Thank you, Craig. Have a
Yeah.
great
See you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving, players.
Thank you, Tamara. Jochen, you can go and take a nap now.
camera. And thanks for your sharing.
Ugh.
Have a great
Oh,
Thanksgiving, guys.
Bye,
You
bye,
too.
bye.
You too, man.
Bye, bye, bye.
Have a good dinner, you guys. Enjoy.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Mail me some cookies. Thank you.
R.I.P.
Oh,
Come
was half a second late. I thought of,
You can say so. It's still on live.
No.
that's okay. I
End
thought
it.
of thank you very much. And then I was like, no, I should say fuck you very much. And
Oh,
I
he would
didn't
love
get a
that.
chance. I really, next time.
The pain of this time will make it that much more easily accessible next time.
Yeah, just suffer and then maybe you'll change a little bit slowly.
It
That's
wasn't,
been my experience.
it was actually kind of delightful. I didn't experience it as pain. It's like,
You're not doing it right.
it's like good pain.
Oh, okay. That sounds like pain.
I need to turn it off.
Okay, that's what I'm learning from this.